respect yourself because you did things that you didn't even think you were capable of, things that weren't even in the plan, and they came through. What's good, DC Mafia? Today, I'm talking to y'all because it's time to start chasing our dreams. It's time to it's time to start investing in your future. It's time to start making habits that you have, making goals that you have habits for. It's time to start becoming the person that you said you were going to become this year. It's time to start chasing those dreams. It's time to start putting work towards those goals. It's time to start identifying what you could do in the next 2 weeks, not a year from now, to become the person that you want to be. It's time to start working towards yourself, educating yourself, investing in yourself, your health, watching what you consume, whether that be what you eat. Not just what you eat, what you listen to, what you talk about, what you hear, where you're going, what you're doing with your time. Start investing in yourself. Start taking yourself seriously. Start respecting yourself before anyone else can. It's time to take initiative. It's time to keep working on your future. Keep going towards where you want to be. Keep growing towards who the person you are in your future, who you want to become, because it's possible. Keep staying blessed. I hope everyone that's watching this video is blessed. I hope that y'all are all working towards your future selves. And I ask that everybody like, comment. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. DC Mafia out. YouTube, we back with another video. And today, we are talking about an important topic. So the topic we are talking about today is feeling tired and feeling like you are not, feeling busy, but not productive. Feeling like you have spent your day, but you haven't dedicated any of the time that you spent during the day towards your goals, towards where you want to be. Feeling like you wasted your time, or just feeling busy. Feeling like your time is going, but not to where you want it to go into. Feeling like you're pouring into the wrong things. And this is something like we often catch ourselves like feeling like, you know what I'm saying? This is very common, especially if y'all are young. For me, for example, I'm a college student. College is literally all about time management. It could literally make or break your experience, how well you manage your time. Like, there's so many things important for us to do in this life, and it's like, okay, am I really gonna miss out on this experience because I'm not able to properly manage how I'm going about my time? Or am I gonna change it? Am I gonna act on it? Am I gonna implement routine and scheduling into my method? So in this video, I kind of want to talk about like ways that we can get over time, like improper time management, and just help us grow as a person towards our goals, helping us connect towards where we want to go. One of the most important things is reflecting on how you spend your time. So like, personally where your goals are, and if you don't, that's step number one. Step number one, outline your goals. Because beyond anything, like, you need to know what you want to work towards. And a lot of the time we get caught up in the, how is this going to work, etc. Yes, outline your goals in the future, but we also need to know, like, how does you getting closer towards your goal look like in the next 2 weeks? What can you do in the next 2 weeks to bring you closer to where you want to be? That's what you need to worry about, short-term and long-term. You got to make short-term goals with that long-term thinking in mind so you could continue to progress. You may not be at that 1 hour of reading or 1 hour of working out a day, but you could get 15, 20, 30 minutes in, and progressively build up from there, because it's all about increasing however much you're able to do now, slowly over time. A lot of the times, we forget that when we are outlining our goals, we need to outline things that we can progressively do now in the span of the 2 weeks. It's okay that you can't automatically dedicate as much time as you want to, but you're not there yet, and you got to account for that. So it's understanding that you are going to keep working towards where you want to go, and you are going to keep working towards that progressively. That's one of the most important things to remember in your journey when you are trying to reach your dreams, trying to create that future, when you are trying to idealize who you are going to be, and you're working towards becoming that person, becoming that self. That's the most important thing, making sure that you have those short-term steps into achieving it. Now next, something that I do want to talk about is a lot of the time, that feeling of anxiousness, that feeling of anxiety, feeling like you can't rest, comes from improperly managing our time. So when we adapt these schedules, when we make an outline of what we want to do, it's important that we don't just get the dopamine from making it, and we actually act towards our goals, towards our dream, and we have steps within today, tomorrow, this week, next week towards working towards those goals. Because a lot of the time we just get the dopamine from telling people, oh, we have a goal XYZ, or writing that to-do list, but we never actually open it up. You know what I'm saying? We're like, okay, I made the plan, but I'm not gonna do anything. Today I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, you don't do it, you don't work on it. How many times has that happened to us? You know what I'm saying? So it's important to make those short-term goals towards your progress. It's 2024, and I'm sorry, but it's no longer the time to make goals that we do not have habits for. If you have a goal that you don't have a habit for, then you are deluding yourself. And I'm sorry to tell you, or I'm actually happy to tell you, I'm sorry, but you need to stop. You need to start working towards where you want to be if you're serious about creating that ideal version of yourself. And 3 is something I want to talk about. This is very important. It's called conceptual survival. It's something I've heard of from Dan Cole and people like Andrew Huberman, who are talking about creating that ideal sense of self. It basically means deriving your sense of self from what you do, your beliefs, your actions, and the concepts that you do every day. So in order for us to have goals, we have to fully immerse ourselves in actions that go towards the goal, to where we derive that sense of being. Like, we feel like there is no me without the gym. I feel like there is no me without fitness, without God, without XYZ, without my studies, without what I want to do. When you start getting that sense of identity, it's going to be ingrained in your routine. And that's how you have to be when it's about something you want, when you want to be, when you're trying to be uncomfortable, when you're trying to make yourself grow and try that new routine, try that new habit. That's the type of mindset you have to have, because understand that when we are trying to do something new and we're going through that uncomfortable stage, when you face resistance, those are gonna be the times you want to give up. When you face resistance, or it's out the way, or you have things to do, you don't want to schedule it, those are gonna be when you're like, oh, I tried, and you feel good about yourself because you're like, oh, okay, well, I couldn't do it. But really, were you not able to do it, or did you not properly make time for it? And it's about addressing things with the proper time management skills, so you make time for everything that you have. Because a lot of the times we get the misconception that being busy is equal to being productive. Being busy does not mean you are productive. Productivity is doing the most amount of things possible in the shortest amount of time, being efficient with your time. So I could look back and say, hey, yeah, I'm fine with resting because I know I just knocked out my work for the week. I'm fine with going wherever I want to go or doing XYZ because I know I did what I have to do. Once you can comfortably say that you work towards your goals, once you can comfortably say that you are chasing your dreams, you no longer will worry about relaxing. Because a lot of the times, unfortunately to say, we don't do anything towards our goals the whole day. And we feel like we wasted our day. We feel like, oh, I wasted my day, I didn't do much today. You know why? Because you didn't work towards your goals, and your soul feels that. You know when you aren't doing what you want to do. You know when you're not spending the time. So when I say this video, it's about taking priority, which is what you want to do, what you want your plan to be, creating what it is if you don't have one already, and saying, hey, I'm going to choose to fill my schedule before anyone else gets to fill my schedule. I'm going to choose to fill my schedule, and then I'll let my friends put in XYZ. I'm going to choose me first in this world where I'm constantly getting plugged into things I don't want to be plugged into. If you don't write your calendar, I'm telling you, the world will write it for you. You're going to be doing things that you don't care for. You're going to be seeing things that you don't care for, saying things that you don't even like. You're like, this doesn't even represent me. This doesn't reflect me. Why is it in my head? Because you're not purposely being intuitive about what's in your diet. Your diet is not just what you eat. Your diet is what you hear, consume, listen to, what you talk about. Your diet is everything that you consume. Beyond just feeding your body, you need to understand that you're feeding your soul when you work towards your goals, when you listen to that music, when you do XYZ. You know what I'm saying? When you get in the gym, when you go run, when you do talk to your friend and have that important rebuilding conversation. That is feeding yourself. That's feeding your soul, feeding your dreams. And when you constantly are watching what you eat, you no longer going back to that bad habit. You no longer going back to that smoking, going back to that drinking, going out to being outside when you don't have that assignment done. When you're doing your assignment, rushing to get it done in the club. Nah, that's not cool. Nothing about being uncoordinated is cool. So we have to understand that working towards changing our time and being more disciplined with our time, yeah, it might be hard at first, but when you see your future self with the goals and with everything that you ever wanted, and you're still working towards it, you're still reflecting back on what God has done with you and has done in your life, One thing I know that I did personally, I made a goal this whole entire, like in the beginning of the year, January, I made a goal with my friends, and it was actually like the end of December. It was probably the end of 2023, and I was like, this is what I want to do this year. This is what I want to work on. These are the goals. It was a long list. And I said, even if I don't hit every single one, I'm putting this here so I could tangibly look at it and be like, okay, I made XYZ progress. Okay, I worked on this, or I want to work on this. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't touch it for a long time because like I feel like kind of new. I would go back at first, like after those months, it was kind of routine. So I didn't touch it for a while. And I'm sitting back the other day, I was feeling overwhelmed, I'm not gonna lie. And I looked back and I just felt so blessed. I said, thank you, God. Like I really had to hit one of those. Like, you know, when you just feel appreciative, it's like, dang, God has worked, because it's like, not only do you hit the things on the list, but it's like you see how God has worked in your life in ways that you can't even imagine. See how you respect yourself because you did things that you didn't even think you were capable of, things that weren't even in the plan, and they came through. And even if that's not your season, even if it's a season of waiting, even if it's a season of hustling, a season of longing, just remember to stay down and be intentional with your time. Keep praying on it, keep working towards it, and keep grinding, keep writing it out, keep outlining it, staying on top of your schedule, because the discipline pays off in the long run. The time pays off in the long run. It's like holding that value to yourself and holding that standard to yourself. It doesn't matter if everybody else is doing it. It doesn't matter who sees it. It doesn't matter what you gain from it in the reality or in the world or on social media. It doesn't matter if you're quiet about it. At the end of the day, you know the success that comes, and make sure that when success does come, when you do reach your goals, make sure that you understand, like, hey, this is a great moment for me. I'm gonna cherish this moment. Understand that you have to be gracious too with your time, not just understanding the value, but gracious too. Like, thank God and enjoy the moment, because you only have this moment. And one thing I want to make sure I put emphasis on is priority in this video, and like that will be the next thing I talk about. Prioritize what you think is important to you. And I'm talking about, a lot of the time people get this priority word confused. Your first priority should be just that, no distractions. I'm talking about the thing that you lock in on, the thing you know when you wake up, you said, okay, I gotta do this. I don't care what else gets done. But if I don't get this done by the end of the day, then it was not a good day. That's the type of mindset you have to have with your first priority. You gotta have that understanding that, okay, I don't care what is going on in my life, this is getting done. And that's because that's how disciplined I am. That's what I'm doing. That's what you gotta have. Build that faith in yourself. Build that understanding that you're like, okay, this is what I do in my life. Set that tone, set that character. And it goes back to the conceptual thinking and like the conceptual understanding of yourself. Because it's like, okay, this is where I get my identity. You know what I'm saying? You find that peace of mind. You find that comfortability to where you no longer have to feel anxious when you do go about your day. You no longer have to feel like you're worrying constantly because you're like, oh, do I have this? What if I forgot about this? And a good part of that too is just like, you know, after outlining what you want to do, make sure you set reminders on your phone. Make sure you're setting dates. Make sure you're looking at it like living on it, and then make sure you're working towards it. Like, it's really, it doesn't take much to work for someone else's dream. So why can't you just give that little bit of energy towards yourself? You know, we work towards building other people's futures every day. If you have a job, if you do it, whatever, you build something. You're helping build someone else's future. So just take this time, even if it is 15 minutes. Do something that you wanted to do today. Do something effective. Do something that is working towards your goal. Get up and go think about what you want to do and actively do that. Once you set up that time for the week, do it. Create that routine. Slowly but surely, you're gonna get on top of it. You're gonna get on top of your things. You're gonna get to the places you want to be, and you're gonna look back and think, I'm blessed. This is where I want to be. And there's nothing better than that feeling of just looking back and reminiscing on the unknowing, the doubt that you had, and just thanking yourself, your past self, for putting in that work. And that's all I want to really pass on in this video, y'all. I hope that y'all take away something from this video. I hope that y'all at least apply what I'm saying. Don't just listen. I hope that y'all are all staying blessed. I hope that y'all continue to work on yourself, continue to grow your faith, and continue to grow your respect for yourself, and understand that it's up to you to build that relationship with yourself. No one is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to teach you how to derive yourself. Like, you have to look for it. Even if you press this video by accident, even if you just happen to watch it, you said, I sent it to you, or some random crazy thing, you saw it on the ad. It's important that you understand you are who takes care of your future. What you learn, the skills that you pick up throughout this life, it's important for you to build the future that you want. And that's the one goal that I want everyone to just take away. But thank you all. Peace and love for your album.